mean, it's nothing different for me, just preparing myself, preparing my body. And then, of course, this week's preparation is going to be a little more intense. But, I mean, shit, it's nothing that I'm not used to doing, going out there and playing.
When Alan Williams says that no cornerback has earned his confidence 100% yet, how does that hit your ear?
Say that again?
Alan Williams said none of the cornerbacks have fully earned his trust yet, that everybody's got something to prove still. How does that hit your ear? How do you react when you hear something like that?
I really got to figure out what he doesn't trust me with, and then figure out a way to gain that trust. I mean, I don't know too much about that. So I mean, that's news to me.
How do you get that consistency? There haven't been enough snaps to see guys play at a consistent level. Is that something maybe you could prove?
There ain't nothing I can do about the number of snaps I get. I mean, I feel like there hasn't been times where I had an opportunity and I didn't show up. So I mean, maybe I'm not even having enough snaps to even prove that. I mean, I don't know.
Jaylon, what has your approach been with Kyler Gordon since he came in? You being a little more established, being a guy that's in his third season. Did you, when you saw that they drafted a cornerback, did it immediately click for you? Okay, I gotta help bring this guy along, or?
100%. That's gonna help us win. I mean, regardless of my position or not. I mean, in my position room, not in my position room, we all want to win. So I mean, any way I can help him, I reached out to him as soon as they drafted him. So I mean, really just trying to find ways to help his game improve, and I really got a sense of understanding of his type of play when he got here. But now it's really just trying to bring him along, see what he's comfortable with. I'm just giving him little tips each and every day, each and every situation I see that he can get better at. Just giving him my opinion on it, and if he takes it and runs with it, then good. I really want him to succeed. I want all our DBs to succeed. We all need to work together as one to really push this team to be better.
Do you see him take it and run with it? Is he receptive to you?
For sure, 100%.
And what's it like for you? You've obviously, you came in with Kendall, you've watched his progression. What's it been like to watch him in camp and see the ways he's improved?
I like it a lot. I mean, we oftentimes talk about technique, talk about just the craft of the cornerback position. So, I mean, we've really been able to come up in this league and then on this team together. There's been some times where we kind of talk and see how he would want to play, or how he would play a situation, how I would play it. But, I mean, we definitely been able to learn and pick off each other's brains for sure, and really just grow our last 2 years going on 3 years together.
Seen enough of this defense to know how this defense can make you a better player? Or do you just feel you're going to be, at your stage of your career, you're going to be a better player no matter what the defense is?
I'm going to naturally say I'm going to be a better player regardless. But, I mean, kind of it just goes back to not having enough snaps, really. I mean, there's nothing that anybody can do about that. We can only take the snaps that we're given. But, I mean, we're going to see shortly.
What's your sense for what the defense has established over the last 4 or 5 weeks here in training camp that gives you some confidence?
Outside the hits principle?
Inside, outside?
I mean, that's all we really preach. That's all we talk about is the hits principle. Really just really trying our best to perform that and make that natural, make that a habit. But I really feel like it's going to come down to us giving the offense good field position, us changing the game and creating turnovers and giving them the ball back. I feel like that's going to really test who we are as a defense, getting stops and turning the ball over.
Is the application of the hits principle, have you seen it come a significant way?
Oh, 100%, 100%. Because, I mean, that's something that wasn't here at first, so now it being demanded each and every day, no matter what we're doing, walkthroughs, jog-throughs, full speed pads, no pads, regardless of what we're going through, it's always about the hits principle. So we're improving on that each and every day, each and every week.
What's the hits principle done for you, Jaylon? What's the hits principle done for you personally?
Meaning what?
How is it? How do you feel it's affected you? How has it made you better? Is it, what's the impact of it so far? What do you think?
I mean, it definitely has made me more in shape. All the running that we're doing for sure. So I mean, my endurance I definitely think is more advanced than it was in my previous years.
Was it easy for you to buy into it? I mean, obviously it's an acronym, and sometimes acronyms come across as very college-like in the NFL.
100%.
Did you buy in right away, or did you kind of have to see what they were preaching to then get your buy-in for it?
No, I didn't buy in right away. It was just something that I wasn't familiar with, something that I wasn't used to doing. So, I mean, naturally there's going to be some back and forth. But, I mean, really coming in and being in it, going through it during the spring and now, I mean, it's like I said, it's becoming second nature. I mean, it is what it is. It's the standard. And as a leader, I got to I have to push myself to push other guys to uphold that standard. So I mean, I'm definitely used to it now. It's natural. I know what the expectation is.
When you guys get here and they explain it to you,
Hmm.
do they need to sell it at all, or do they just sit there and go, this is the expectation, you've got to meet it? And if they do have to sell it, how do they sell it?
It's funny because we joke around with it, but like one of our quotes that we said that Shakespeare came up with is, "Thou who runneth to the ball, good things shall happen." So I mean, just things like that. Just really kind of seeing the bright side of running. It's not just, oh, you guys just run to the ball just because we say to run to the ball. Like it's some rhyme and reason to why we do it. And once we see good things happen from running to the ball, then it gives us really more confidence to push ourselves to really run to the ball, because you never know what can really happen.
At the beginning, when they're explaining it to everybody, though, do they just sit there and go, this stuff works?
I mean-
That's why we're doing it? Or do they have to explain to you, here's why it's important?
Outside of what I said, nah. I mean, if you don't run to the ball, it's not too many good things gonna happen at the end of the day. So I mean, there's no really selling it. Either you're gonna buy into it or you're not. And I feel like at the end of the day, if you don't buy into it, you're not gonna play. So I mean, I feel like it wasn't too much to sell.
How quickly do you see that it applies on the field, that you can tangibly see that you guys are playing differently because of this principle?
I'm sorry, say it again.
Do you see it on tape? Like
Oh yeah, 100%. Especially, I mean, you just see the guys running to the ball. I think you guys were here, but you seen how we finished the play when Kairos Tonga got the interception, just like things like that. Like we weren't, nobody would have ran all the way to the end zone, like finishing. Like as fun as that seems, like that's a lot of energy to do, but it's just like that muscle memory of catch the ball and run. Everything that we're doing is ball here, run, ball here, run. Like everything we're doing is just running to the ball. I mean, that quote was kind of funny, but that's like, it's like some real, it's real. When you really run to the ball, you can get a tip pass, you can get a fumble, because you never know what can really go on in the game.
Do they show you, when they were installing it, did they show you examples of past defenses, and who did they show you the most, maybe when they were kind of?
Nah, we didn't see too much pass defense, nah.
Jim, you've played with Rope One for 2 years. How do you describe the presence that he has when he's with your defense out there in the middle?
I would just say everybody has a sense of a different sense of confidence when he's out there. Especially me being, like you said, playing with him for 2 years. There's some things that are kind of like unspoken. Like we don't always have to communicate certain things. Like we just kind of can see things the same. And then the communication is easier. Our communication doesn't necessarily have to be the same with everybody that it is with us too. Like we don't have to say too many words. But I mean, it's just a sense of security when you have a guy like him, knowing his intelligence of the game, knowing how he plays the game physically. I mean, he's a monster, but just the leadership and the IQ that he brings to the defense is definitely a big jump.
What gives you the sense that he'll be able to compartmentalize his contract disappointment from what he owes you guys when you guys are playing?
I would just say his sense to want to be one of the greats. I feel like he has to keep the main thing, and right now that's playing ball. And he's been doing that since he's been back, since he's been making his way back. And he's real professional. At the end of the day, he want to go out there and he wants to play ball and make plays with us.